Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Flip the Script read. I forget what number this is. What number is this? 9? 8? I don't think it's 10 yet. I don't think we've hit double digits.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. Thanks, Von Dexter. And for this read, we have decided to venture into the small screen, and I wanted to jumpstart our television series as seen on TV with something really fun and very out of this world. So we are going to be going into the world of Black Mirror, which is a crazy place and seems crazy to do right now, but yes, whatever. So we will be presenting USS Callister to you guys tonight, but first I want to introduce the actors who will be performing for you tonight. Let's start with our Jeremy. Jeremy, is Jeremy here? Wait, I just saw him. There he is. Okay, go, Jeremy.
Hello, everybody. My name's Jeremy Lechner. I hail from Glendora, California, and today I'll be playing Captain Daly.
All right, and Isaiah.
Hey guys, Isaiah Frizzell here. I'm from LA, and I will be playing Walton.
Then Ty.
Hello, my name is Ty Austin. I'm from Austin, Texas, and today I'm playing Nate Packer.
Dan.
Hello, I'm Dan Cole. I'm from Missouri, but coming at you from North Hollywood, California, and I'll be playing Carl/Baldak.
Ashley.
Hello, my name is Ash Saunders, originally from New York, currently in Los Angeles, California. Today is my first day reading, and I will be doing Shayna Lowry.
And then Logan.
Hello, I am Logan. I am coming at you from North Hollywood by way of Seattle, and I'm going to be playing Nanette Cole.
And Paula.
Hi, everybody. I hail from Houston, Texas, but I'm coming at you tonight from Austin, and I will be playing Lieutenant Elena Talaska.
And Jay.
Hey everyone, Jay Faiska from New York City, but coming to you from Hollywood. It's my first time, and I'll be playing the pizza guy, computer, and teenager. Very excited.
And then our narrators for this evening. Narrator number 1, if you can introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Callie Thomas. I'm from LA, and I'm currently in Gardena, South Bay area, and I will be your first narrator.
And I'm going to run away quickly because food is here. But Maydell, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm also from Houston, Texas. Woo woo! I will be your narrator number 2. This is my 4th Flip the Script, and I currently live in North Hollywood.
Yay. Von Dexter, you can go.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Von Dexter Montague II from Washington, D.C. originally, coming to you live from L.A.
I knew that was going to happen. Thank you for getting Von Dexter. All right, awesome. Great. This is your cast and crew tonight. I am going to be endeavoring music, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm very excited. If you have seen this episode of Black Mirror or are a fan of Black Mirror, this is a great one. I'm very excited for these guys to get to bring it to you in a live capacity. So without further ado, I present to you Black Mirror, the USS Callister.
Inside the bridge of the USS Callister in deep space. Darkness. We hear a klaxon. Red alert in space. Automatic doors slide open, and we follow a striding, confident man named Captain Robert Daly as he enters the bridge of a spaceship. It's very retro. The women wear mini skirts. The color scheme is groovy. The screens are old school, like a 60s space epic. Following behind Daly is comms officer Shania Lowry. Daly glances up at the giant display windshield in front of him. His matinee idol looks and stance epitomize the very best of Space Fleet Command. The display shows an alien warship looming in front of them. Walton, in his 40s, is the first officer and ship's navigator. He salutes as Daly enters. Walton looks worried, scared.
Captain Daly?
What?
It's a non-Federation vessel. Jumped straight out of white space right in front of us.
Daly nods to himself, then looks at the main display and tightens his jaw. Walton steps in alongside.
Baldak.
Can't be.
Lieutenant Dudani is the space head engineer who has cyborg implants on his temples. He looks up from a monitor.
My data scan indicates a heavily armored Gorgon dreadnought vessel, ID number 0965.
Thank you, Dudani. Valdak must have hijacked it from the Fermi hub, tracked us through space. Alaska, shield status.
Elena Talaska is Callister's glamorous head of security and a sexy alien. She sounds worried, albeit in an East European accent.
Shields 100%.
Helmsman Packer.
Captain,
Prime rear thrusters.
rear thrusters primed.
Behind him, Helmsman Packer works furiously at the controls. Walton is increasingly spooked. Daly is thinking.
That smile back can rip us to shreds. Captain, we have to surrender. There's no other way.
Daly keeps his eyes on the display.
Let's not lose our heads, Lieutenant Walton.
Suddenly, boom! The bridge is rocked by a blast from Valdak's ship.
Shields at 68%.
Heavy damage reported decks 6 through 10.
Fires in Med Center and major rupture to Cargo Bay Alpha.
We got no choice, Captain.
Do you want me to open comms with Valdak's craft, Captain?
Walton looks at Daly pleadingly, but...
Negative.
Boom! Another blast rocks the bridge.
Shields at 54%.
There's no way out.
Captain, please.
Now, Walton.
Daly peers beyond Valdak's ship, but it is a cluster of asteroids encompassed in a large green gas cloud.
Helmsman Packer, take us into that asteroid gas cluster.
Into the cluster?
Walton looks terrified.
That's suicide.
It's our only chance. That gas cluster is charged with ionized pyron particles, which, if our shields hold, we could use them to increase our photon intensity.
Daly puts a hand up to silence Dudani's whittering. Packer pushes forward on the throttle. Engines roar. Walton looks increasingly scared. The crew watch as their ship passes over the enemy craft and heads into the gas cluster. The entire bridge shudders and then lights blink.
Shields at 43%.
It'll tear the ship apart.
Without averting his eyes from the display, Daly snaps.
We have no choice. Keep calm, everyone.
Shields at 32%.
Walton, you're a space fleet officer. Hold yourself together.
Valdak's not following.
Packer, turn us around.
Packer nods and obeys.
Alaska, charge photon bolts.
Talaska taps him. He waits a beat. Daly bides his time.
Fire.
They fire a photon bolt at the enemy ship. It's a direct hit. It explodes on impact, causing enormous damage.
His hull's breached. Shields gone. He's defenseless.
Lieutenant Lowry, open comms.
He's already hailing us, Captain.
On screen.
The screen reveals Valdak, a muscly space Viking, injured but defiant. Behind him, glimpses of his spaceship through sparks and smoke. The screen flickers. The signal is weak.
Captain Daly, may you drown in the venom of 900 Tagorian snakes.
You're defeated, Valdak. Return the plasmorphian crystal, and we'll cause you no more damage.
Valdak spits.
You must think I'm a fool, Captain. I know the crystal's capabilities. I'll die before I give it up.
I gave you a chance, Valdak. Showed you mercy. Reflect on that while you can. Close comms.
The display screen flicks back to open space. The semi-obliterated enemy ship sits in view.
Alaska, destroy his ship.
Yes, Captain.
A photon bolt is launched. The crew watches on as it impacts the enemy ship. The ship explodes in a fireball. The crew breathe a sigh of relief, then cheer. Daily.
Hey!
That was incredible, Captain.
You saved our lives.
Walton takes Daly's hand, desperately grateful.
Sorry I lost it back there.
Wouldn't be the first time, Walton.
I should know by now to never doubt you. Please, forgive me.
Still holding Daly's hand, he falls down on one knee, like a man begging forgiveness from the Pope.
At ease, Walton.
Walton stands, nodding. Suddenly, Dudani pipes up.
Captain! Sensors indicate an escape pod ejected from Voldak's ship before detonation. Traces of plasmorphium. He's escaping with the crystal!
Want me to plot a pursuit course, Captain?
Daly considers his options.
No. We'll let him go. For now.
Everyone nods and smiles.
Right decision making, Captain.
Suddenly, Walton shouts.
3 cheers for Captain Daly. Hip hip!
Hooray!
Daly pretends to be vaguely embarrassed, making a quiet down gesture with his hands, but toasting continues.
Hip hip!
Hooray!
So Daly smiles, shrugs, and basks in their adulation. Next, Walton claps in time and leads a sing-song.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
The entire crew join in. Daly basks in the praise. Shania sidles up and puts an arm around his waist. Daly leans over and kisses her, Shania literally bending over backwards as he does so, a curiously chaste lips-closed kiss. The pose is a bit like Errol Flynn kissing a rescued maiden. No sooner has the kiss with Shania finished than Daly turns and performs an identical kiss with Talaska. Throughout, the crew are still singing his praises.
And so say we all.
So say all. For he's a jolly good fellow.
He's a jolly good fellow.
Later, in the Callister lobby, the elevator doors open to reveal Daly waiting inside. He looks different, downtrodden, in badly fitting work attire. This is the real Robert Daly arriving at his real job. Daly steps into the lobby. We don't really see the receptionist's face just yet, incidentally. Behind her is the logo for the company, Callister Inc. On one wall is a video display showing a sizzle reel of the company's major product, Infinity. It's a constant trail showing CGI graphics from a space game. The rendering looks like the environment aboard the USS Callister, but without the retro tinge. It's more J.J. Abrams style. And it's intercut with captions like, massively multiplayer VR space epic and totally immersive. Daly reaches the main doors, swipes his pass, and the panel beeps and flashes red. He tries again, but gets the same result. Daly looks over at the receptionist, and now we notice she is Lieutenant Elena Talaska, the USS Callister's head of security, except she's in civilian clothes and not an alien. Daly's demeanor is notably different. He's awkward and shy.
Elena, my pass doesn't work again.
She looks up, not hugely interested in his dilemma.
You must renew on 1st of month.
I know, but the first was on the weekend, so...
Okay.
She presses a button, unlocking the main doors.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Inside the main floor of Callister Inc., Daly makes his way across the large open-plan office. This is Callister Inc. headquarters, an advanced VR tech company. We see rows of coders at workstations designing software, building levels, data streaming down paper-thin monitors, some using AR smart specs. It's Google on steroids. In one small room, we see some testers sitting motionless, their eyes clouded out with tiny disc-like VR experiencers stuck to their temples. One of the walls serves as a huge video display, also showing the Infinity sizzle reel. Another face we recognize heads towards Daly. On his way out, it's Helmsman Packer, the fresh-faced recruit. Only here, he is an intern, and his real name is Nate Packer. He smiles a greeting for Daly as he enters. He's casually carrying an empty tray.
Morning, Mr. Daly.
Helmsman Packer?
Nate looks confused.
I mean, Mr. Packer, Nate.
Nate smiles a bit confused and passes. Daly turns and realizes where he's going and points at the tray.
Are you making coffee?
Nate stops and turns.
Yeah.
Daly waits for a brief moment for Nate to catch up with what he meant by the question, but Nate doesn't get there.
Do you think you could maybe make me one too? I mean, perhaps just something.
Sure.
Nate takes out his phone, ready to add the order.
The vanilla latte.
Nate types.
Skim milk.
Nate smirks at that, glancing at Daly's paunch.
Yeah, good call.
Daly forces a smile. Nate finishes taking the order, smiles, and then heads off on his mission. Daly turns and walks across the floor, momentarily distracted by the sight of Shania Lowry, who works here in business affairs, crossing the floor in business wear.
Well, careful what you wish for. Those are big numbers, and we might have to just hold you to that. Of course. Absolutely.
Momentarily not looking where he's going, Daly immediately trips over a gym bag and lands with a thump on the floor. There's a moment for him to groan, and then all eyes on him. A man who looks exactly like Baldak leans in to help him up, but this Baldak is actually a faintly jockish coworker named Carl from marketing.
Whoa, you okay there, bud?
Daly gets to his feet, embarrassed, feeling all eyes on him.
I guess you didn't see my gym bag there.
Carl slaps him on the back a little too hard.
Oh, hey, sorry, bud.
Daly smiles weakly and heads toward the end of the room. He passes a big office window. We see someone inside talking to someone on a hands-free earpiece while toying idly with a stress ball with the Callister logo on it. This man is confident, swaggering. He glances over at Daly, then smiles and nods as he carries on his conversation. It's Walton, the USS Callister's second in command. In the real world, he looks far more confident. On the wall of Walton's office is a blown-up framed front cover of Wired magazine. It shows Walton with the headline, "To Infinity and Beyond." Daly smiles and waves as he passes the window, but Walton's attention has already gone back to his chat. Daly carries on and passes text on the door that reads, "James Walton, CEO, Callister Inc." He reaches a second, pokier office next to Walton's and heads inside. On his door, the text reads, "Robert Daly, Chief Technical Officer, Callister Inc." Inside Daly's office is cramped. On the wall, there's a poster for Space Fleet, an old late 60s TV show in the Star Trek mold. Bits of Space Fleet memorabilia are everywhere. There's even a series of Blu-ray, DVD, and VHS box sets on a shelf. Daly sits at his desk, sighs. He looks through the glass to notice Shania and Carl. From the glances in his direction, they are definitely maybe talking about him. Shania laughs at whatever Carl just said. Under the desk, Daly clenches his fists. A knock at the door snaps him out of it. Nanette Cole, a super smart coder in her mid-20s, stands in the doorway. She's a tad nervous. Daly thinks he knows what she wants. It's happened before.
Ladies' bathroom is that way. The sign's confusing.
You're Robert Daly, right?
Right.
Nanette steps forward and holds out a hand.
Nanette Cole.
Daly gingerly takes her hand and shakes it.
I started here today, coding on the update. Just wanted to pass on my admiration to the person who actually designed Infinity. The procedural algorithm is amazing. It really is some beautiful code.
Daly is genuinely taken aback.
Thank you.
It's actually the reason I wanted to work here.
A pregnant pause. Daly doesn't know what else to say.
Oh, you must be busy. Sorry.
Oh, no. It's fine.
Fangirling. Sorry.
She notices the Space Fleet box sets and picks up a VHS case.
Whoa, what's that? Vintage.
Daly stands, worried his VHS case might get finger marks on it.
Space Fleet, it's a TV show. It was before your time. Before my time, essentially. But it was visionary.
Is it like on tape?
Daly taps the other box sets.
Yeah, I got the VHS, the DVD, the Blu-rays, whole thing, seasons 1 to 6. Netflix has it these days.
Aboard the spaceship USS Callister. Okay, so yeah, so Callister is like.
Yeah, when we set up the company, I suggested we call it Callister as a kind of a tribute. Walton didn't really get the reference, but he let me have that one.
Nanette looks at the Space Fleet poster, notes the female crew member in a sort of mini-skirt costume.
Mini-skirted damsels? Little cold for that in space.
That's just what a Sargardian sand warrior would say.
The look on Nanette's face indicates she didn't get the joke. Suddenly, Walton enters without invitation and starts talking before he even realizes Nanette is in the room.
Bob, Christmas is closing in like a goddamn meteor, and we got our customers all over our balls waiting on the Infinity update. Just tell me it'll be up and running before the weekend.
Well, I can ask Kyber if he could pick up the pace a little bit.
You're a
I
CTO.
don't know.
You shouldn't be asking anyone anything. You should be telling like I'm telling you now.
I'll speak to him. I'm sorry.
Good. Okay.
Daly nods. Walton notices Nanette standing in the room, desperately wishing she wasn't there.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry, I couldn't find a good moment to.
She's about to say the word leave.
Must be new. James Walton. I run the company.
Walton holds her hand a little bit too long after the shake.
Well, we run the company. Kind of. Bobby's the hardware, and I'm the shiny front end.
Nanette Cole.
Which department?
Engine architecture.
Did you start today?
Yes.
You had the tour?
No, I was.
Oh, then please allow me.
Before Nanette can answer, Walton leads her out the door.
It was so nice to meet you.
Daly nods and watches as Walton leads Nanette away. Back on the main floor, Daly walks over to a workstation to find Kabir Dudani, a bookish coder, eating his breakfast at his desk.
Kyber?
As Dudani looks up, we realize it's Lieutenant Dudani. He wears glasses in reality.
Mr. Daly?
You got the latest ETA on the update patch? Just there's still some runtime errors and.
Oh, well, the thing is, Mr. Daly, it could be ready by the end of play today, but if we had time, we could alter the trading mechanics to tweak the critical hit system. But of course, that'd add another week, maybe 10 days.
While Dudani says that, Daly glances around and sees on the other side of the office, Walton introducing Nanette to Shania and Carl. Carl is clearly attracted to her. Daly didn't hear what Dudani just said, so Dudani prompts him.
Mr. Daly?
Yeah, do all that. Thank you.
Dudani nods, a bit surprised.
Okay, we're on it.
Daly heads back towards his office. As he does, he sees the intern, Nate, handing out his coffees. One to Shania, one to Carl, one to Walton. Nate has one left, Daly's skinny latte. Walton takes it and hands it to Nanette. She smiles and accepts it. Daly scowls. He retreats to his office and broods in silence. That night in Daly's apartment, the room is dark. No one is home. A sensor panel on the wall suddenly emits a little bing noise as Daly enters, grouchily, eating the remains of a hot dog, holding a grocery store bag under his arm. As he enters, the lights gently brighten to an inviting glow. In Daly's bedroom, it's a small room with even more Space Fleet memorabilia. Posters, action figures in small glass display cases, an Airfix model of Valdak's ship, still in its packaging. There's also a small desk with a computer monitor and keyboard, and a high-backed ergonomic chair. On the desk, there is also a mysterious device, like a petri dish connected to a wire that trails off somewhere. Daly slumps at his desk and drops his hot dog packaging into a small trash can. Daly reaches over to the side of his desk, opens a mini fridge next to it, and tries to choose between a carton of milk, chocolate milk, and a carton of strawberry milk. It's a tough decision. As he does so, we notice in the fridge door is a see-through Ziploc plastic bag with a red lollipop inside it. The name Tommy is written on the bag in Sharpie. Daly chooses chocolate milk, stabs a straw into the carton, and taps his mouse. He takes a small VR experiencer disc from a receptacle and plants it on his temple. On the monitor, using his mouse, he opens a desktop folder labeled Infinity. Inside are two icons, Infinity and Infinity Space Fleet Mod. He double-clicks the latter. Lights glimmer on his VR experiencer disc. Immediately, Daly's eyes glaze over and his body goes limp. He slumps back in his chair, immobilized. He's in the game. Back on the bridge of the USS Callister in deep space, the doors open. The in-game Captain Daly, energized and simmering, steps out onto the bridge.
Welcome back, Captain.
Have you located Veldex's position?
Not yet. But our sensors are probing every star system between here and...
So your answer is no.
A pause. Tension rises on the bridge. The captain's in a bad mood. The crew exchange glances.
I'm afraid so, Captain.
Daly nods, then he suddenly grasps Walton by the throat and lifts him off the ground with one arm, Darth Vader style. The crew watches, frozen with fear. Walton gasps for air.
You're pathetic, Walton. What are you? What's that?
Pathetic.
Daly lets him dangle a moment longer, then lets go. Walton hits the floor, gasping. Daly addresses the rest of the crew.
So, Alex out there, somewhere, and you village idiots are all asleep at the wheel. You're not just disgraceful. You're disgusting. All of you.
Silence as they look at their shoes.
So, can you do one thing? Can you find Valdak? I'm not asking, I'm telling you. Understand?
General nodding and murmurs of course, Captain.
Well, all right.
Daly clicks his fingers, more energy.
Alaska, deck security protocols. If they've expired, you're in trouble.
Yes, Captain.
Alaska nods, chastened, busies herself.
Donnie, recheck those probe results. No room for errors.
Of course, Captain.
Helmsman Packer.
Yes, Captain.
Vanilla latte, skim milk.
Packer salutes.
At once, Captain.
Packer practically sprints to fetch the order. Meanwhile, Daly settles down into the captain's chair. He looks at Walton, who's crawling on all fours toward the door.
Walton?
Walton swallows, crawls over to the captain's chair, and lies down in front of it. Daly rests his feet on Walton's back. Daly, sitting in his chair, sighs.
Exit game.
Back in Daly's bedroom, the real Daly blinks back to life in his chair, a beat. The next day, at Callister Inc., Nanette sits coding at her workstation, earbuds in. We pull focus to see Daly is watching her from his glass box. Now we're inside Daly's box looking out, just like him. Daly spots Walton, striding through the office like Caesar. He stops at Nanette's desk. She pops out her earbuds. They trade a little friendly chat. Walton puts a friendly hand on Nanette's shoulder. Daly's eyes tighten. Suddenly, he's snapped out of his reverie by Dudani's voice. Daly looks up. Dudani is in the doorway.
Mr. Daly, got that new ETA on the update patch.
New ETA?
It's all good, but now we're looking at December 24th for the rollout.
We don't patch till Christmas Eve?
Well, yeah. I mean, with the alterations you approved.
Daly doesn't know how to respond to this.
Okay. Thank you.
He watches Dudani go, then Nanette is in his doorway.
Hey, Robert.
Daly stands up.
Oh, hi.
I'm just gonna go fix a coffee. Did you want one?
It's the nicest thing anyone said to him in 5 years.
Sure. Vanilla latte, skim milk?
Okie dokes.
She walks off. Daly's heart swells. Later, by the water cooler, Nanette stands at the hydration station, a glorified water cooler area the company has installed. Various branded vending and coffee machines line the seating area. Meanwhile, Shania approaches from a distance on a cell phone call. Again, she talks in her cut glass British accent.
Of course. Yes, absolutely.
Using cardboard cups with plastic lids, Nanette starts to fix herself a coffee and one for Daly when Shania arrives alongside her. As Shania speaks, she looks at Nanette and mimes boredom and irritation with the phone call she's making, so Nanette will know that secretly she hates the person on the other end.
Yes. Okay. Okay then. Well, those are great numbers. Ta-ta.
Shania hangs up, looks at Nanette, and points at the phone. Her accent changes. Shania sounds less refined in real life.
Total fucking shitwit.
Nanette nods, a bit embarrassed.
You want a coffee?
Yeah, thanks. Brush suede.
Nanette punches buttons. They wait while their coffees brew. Shania regards her and picks up an apple. Nanette smiles, unable to think of much to say.
So, how are you settling in? Or are you settling in?
She takes a bite.
Yeah, everybody's really friendly.
Shania nods and chews the apple.
Not like my last job, thank God.
Yeah?
Oh, it was a toxic workplace. Boss was a major league bully, not like here with Mr.
Watson? Yeah, he's a good guy. A bit of a player.
Oh?
Like, chuck a ham sandwich across the room and he'd fuck it before it hit the ground, but he's basically a great bloke.
Nanette doesn't know how to respond to that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's two bosses anyway here, I guess.
Two? How?
Robert Daly?
well, technically, yeah.
And just now, we reveal that Daly is lurking just behind the refreshment area, listening in unbeknownst to both women.
Mr. Daly's actually the reason I came here. I mean, who wouldn't want to work under an incredible mind like that? You know, his coding is sublime.
Daly hears this praise. His heart skips a beat.
Do you have a thing for him?
Daly? No, it's not like that. It's purely professional. I like his code.
Daly hears this. No reaction on his face.
Fucking hell. I was gonna say, don't be too nice to him. He gets a bit starey, you know?
She does the mime as she says that bit.
Wide berth. That's my advice. Wide berth.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Nanette puts lids on the coffees as Shania eats her apple. Later in Daly's office, it's now muted and awkward as Nanette carries the coffee cup into Daly and sets it down on his desk.
There you go.
Thank you.
Nanette goes, feeling Daly's eyes on her back. She sits at her own desk and sips her coffee. Daly is watching her lips as she sips through the lid's sippy hole. That evening, outside of Callister Inc., the sun begins to set. Inside Callister Inc., the office is almost empty, bar Daly still in his office. He watches the last few employees leaving. Carl, pulling on a coat, chatting to Shania, leaves through the doors. Nanette hoists the backpack onto her back and puts her earbuds in. She's the last to leave. The moment the door shuts behind her, Daly stands up. He opens a desk drawer containing surgical gloves, tweezers, and a see-through plastic bag. He starts pulling on the gloves. Later, Daly is at Nanette's workstation. He reaches into her trash can, pulls out the coffee cup she had earlier, takes off the lid. carefully places the lid into the see-through bag. That night, in Daly's apartment. Bong! The room lights up in preparation for Daly's return. Daly bursts in, fumbling at his work bag. He pulls out the cellophane bag we saw earlier and hurries into his bedroom. In his bedroom, he rushes to his desk, sits, puts down the cellophane bag. He dons latex gloves again, pops open the mysterious device on the desk. There's a petri dish in there with some sort of thick blue gel in it. He carefully takes the cup lid out of the plastic bag and runs a swab along the sippy hole. Daly delicately places the swab onto the petri dish and closes the lid. An LED light winks. Something bleeps. Then he places the lid back into the bag and puts the bag into the fridge. We notice the shelves have other items in bags. One contains a splodge of chewing gum, another a tissue, and one a lollipop. He turns to his keyboard and types, clicks his mouse around. More lights on the petri dish device start twinkling. On the screen, we see the word assimilating, and a loading bar appears, 1% and rising. Estimated time to completion, 16 hours. Daly looks at his watch, stretches, heads for bed as the loading bar rises incrementally. Outside at dawn, the orange morning sun spreads over Daly's apartment block. Inside Daly's bedroom, the loading bar reads 67% as Daly, in the background, gets dressed and heads out the door. Music carries us through a little montage between Callister Inc. and the increasing loading bar. Daly exits the elevator, crosses the lobby, and tries his pass. Once again, he's rejected. Elena, the receptionist, buzzes him in again. We intercut the following with the loading bar as it climbs. Now it's at 74%. Next, we see him watching Nanette chatting with Walton, then Carl, then Shania. The loading bar climbs to 85%. Daly sits typing when Walton suddenly holds an iPad-type tablet displaying a press article directly in between him and the monitor. Headline, Infinity Update, not till Xmas? Daly looks up at him. Walton shakes his head, disappointed. Meanwhile, Nanette is at her station coding. Loading bar now at 96%. We go in on Nanette's face, 97%. We see Daly watching her through the glass, 98%, 99%, 100%. Inside the med bay of the USS Callister in deep space. There's a starched white medical bed in this room. We are tight on eyes, a woman's eyes, Nanette's eyes. Suddenly, Nanette wakes, looks around. This isn't her bed or her room. It's too dark to make out detail, but there's no window, just some machines making beeping, booping noises. She looks down and realizes she's dressed in Space Fleet attire, a figure-hugging uniform and groovy short skirt. She pats herself, confused, feels her hair, it's different. She walks to a door, which opens into a corridor. In the corridor, we hear an automatic door swooshing. Then Nanette walks into frame, traversing a classic starship corridor.
Hello?
There's no one here. She turns a corner. At the end is a kind of airlock door with a small porthole type window in it. She sees her own face reflected in it, but it's not a reflection she entirely recognizes. Her hair is different. It's styled, and she has makeup on, light blue eyeshadow. She stares at herself, baffled, and then she focuses on the stars behind her reflection. The stars? She's shocked. She leans in. Out the window, stretching out either side of the window, is the universe, deep space. We see an external shot, Nanette peering out from a tiny window. We pull out to see on the main section of the ship, printed in giant letters, the words, USS Callister. Dizzy with shock, Nanette steps back from the window, and then she hears two voices arguing, echoing down the hallway. She stumbles toward them in a trance, following the sound through the winding hallways until she reaches the door. Nanette passes the door onto the bridge. The bridge is dimly lit. The crew are not at their stations. They're in a corner huddled around a kind of bar. Walton's there pouring a drink whilst the rest sit solemnly watching. The argument between Walton and Talaska stops the minute they see Nanette in the doorway. There's a pause.
Oh boy. Looks like there's a new girl in the office.
He takes a swig. Nanette holds back, confused. Shania pipes up in her regular voice, not her cut glass accent.
What's your name, hun?
Come in. Let me pour you a drink. Got everything from Mangarian phlegm shots to distilled root blood from the Kangar quadrant. What's your poison? Some of this is actually poison, so don't be shy.
Nanette doesn't move.
Am I dreaming?
Braid not.
Talaska, who's bored and sitting at her station, doesn't look up from her fingernails.
I remember dreaming.
Packer nods. Those were the days.
Me too.
Where am I?
USS Callister, Space Fleet's finest, exploring the farthest reaches of the known universe and beyond. We are his loyal crew, and now it seems so are you. Cheers.
Walton downs a shot. Nanette looks around.
Your name, babes. What's your name?
Nanette. We met.
Maybe in the real world, but I got no way of knowing.
What do you mean?
You better sit down.
I don't want to sit down. I want to know what's going on.
Dudani walks towards her.
You're on board Robert Daly's ship.
Robert Daly, the CTO?
Here, he's Captain Daly, fearless leader.
You're seriously gonna need to sit the fuck down.
Nanette turns to spot Packer.
You're the intern from work. Nate something?
Packer. Nate Packer. I'm still just the intern out there, huh? Jesus.
Nanette turns to Dudani.
And you're...
Kabir Dudani. Diagnostics.
Nanette, dazed, looks at Talaska.
You're the receptionist.
She nods.
Elena.
Nanette looks at Talaska's alien blue skin.
But your skin is blue.
Talaska looks at her own alien skin and practically shrugs by way of recognition.
Weird alien skin, I know. It's fucked up. Almost sort of racist.
Nanette looks dizzy. She nearly falls over. Shania is there to catch her. She starts leading Nanette over to the captain's chair.
Walt, fix her something. Vodka. Something she'll recognize.
Nanette sits. The rest of the officers crowd round. She looks at them like she's dreaming.
What's it like out there now?
She struggles to answer.
Like, what year is it?
Shania is annoyed with Packer.
But here, I saw you today.
Ooh, did you see me? Did I look thin? Like wheatgrass yoga thin?
Can we not pop her fucking mind? Give her a chance.
Someone needs to be straight with me right now.
Shania steps forward, trying to calm her.
Okay, listen. This is infinity. That's what we're all inside of. That's where all of this exists.
Infinity the game?
Daly's got his own modded version of Infinity, reskinned to look like his favorite TV show.
Space thing.
Walton brings the vodka over and hands it to her.
Space Fleet, hence the groovy decor.
And this getup.
But Infinity's an online game, like a multiplayer deal. I mean...
This is his development build. Sealed off, so he can control it. He keeps it offline so the custom code he's written can't be detected and deleted.
It's a bubble universe ruled by an asshole god.
Nanette is almost lost for words.
He put us in here?
Drink your vodka.
How do we get out?
Shania holds the shot of vodka closer.
Really? Drink it.
Nanette downs the shot and gasps.
You can't leave.
What?
None of us can, because you're not actually you.
What?
I know, it's mental. But you're a copy of you.
A digital clone.
Nanette looks around, trying to process this. Walton sympathetically signals for her to drink another shot.
No, I'm me.
But not the real you.
Daly's created an identical digital version of you, of all of us, from your DNA. He'll have harvested it somehow.
You tell me he got mine from the rim of the smoothie cup, packaged juices retrieved from the bathroom.
Man, let that go. She don't need details.
Basically, he's built some fucking gizmo.
I theorized an advanced biometric DNA virtual clone replicator with somehow a...
Exactly. A fucking gizmo. He fed your DNA, grew you inside of his computer, and bam! You pop up here like a Pop-Tart.
Nanette looks dizzy. Shania continues.
We've all been through it. He brings us in for different reasons. Shit we did in the office. I called him out for staring.
I reset admin permissions on a test build for 14 minutes. In truth, a minor error which was rapidly becoming a...
Before Donnie can ramble, Packer cuts in.
I brought him the wrong sandwich.
Talaska puts a hand up.
Insufficient smiling.
Walton doesn't want to talk about this.
But never mind Daly's reasons. We're stuck in his playground now. That's all you need to know.
Nanette gets out of the chair and walks around.
This is a dream. It has to be.
Walton takes the shot that Nanette has left.
More of an eternal walking nightmare from which there is no escape.
No.
Fuck's sake. I'm trying to break it to her gently.
The quicker she gets it, the easier it'll be for her.
Suddenly, the lights of the ship come on, bathing the room in a warm orange glow. Tense resignation washes over the crew.
Daddy's home.
Daly. He'll be here any moment.
No, I'm out of here.
Packer grabs her arm, deathly serious.
You gotta stay on the bridge.
Get off.
He controls everything. He does shit to make us cooperate. You have no idea. I'm trying to help you.
Nate pulls herself free and runs for the exit. Packer goes to run after her, but Shania stops him by saying,
Leave it.
He'll fuck us all up if she doesn't play ball.
She's gonna have to work it out for herself, like we all did.
She glances at Walton, who looks at his shoes. In the hallway, Nanette runs along the hallway, looking for an escape. She says there's gotta be a way out. She tries an access panel besides the airlock door. It has buttons on it. She mashes away at them.
Oh, come on. There's gotta be a way.
Suddenly, the ship hums louder, lights up. Nanette tries the access panel again, but stops when she notices something happening to her hands. They're glowing. She holds them up, realizes it's happening to her whole body. She is beginning to disintegrate in a strange golden glow. She panics, screams as she evaporates to thin air. In the bridge, Nanette reappears on a teleporter in the same golden glow she disappeared in. She's still holding her hands out, screaming. People are now all at their stations watching her in silence. In the quiet of the bridge, Nanette's screaming seems overly dramatic. The chair in the center of the room spins around to face her, revealing Captain Daly sat in a classic hero pose.
Ah, Lieutenant Cole, welcome aboard.
She stares at him agape.
Crew, we have a new member of the team, Science Officer Nanette Cole. Now please, take a post. I believe we've finally tracked Veldak. May know his exact location on an uncharted planet.
Talaska, the nearest, nudges her, signals to an empty chair.
No.
Nervous looks from the crew.
Take a post. That's an order.
I'm not doing this.
The whole thing's a lot better if you get kind of into it, you know?
If you think I'm playing along with your Space Force bullshit.
Space Fleet?
Whatever! Just think again!
Captain Daly's mood darkens. He stands from his chair.
This is my ship. I am the captain. I give the commands. And an order is an order.
Then go fuck yourself. Sir!
A standoff. The tension amongst the crew is palpable.
Okay, so we're doing it this way.
Captain Daly holds out a hand in her direction, not unlike the Emperor from Empire Strikes Back.
What, you gonna throw a fireball?
The crew avert their eyes. They've seen this before. Suddenly, Daly clicks his fingers. Nanette's entire face suddenly becomes a perfectly smooth, featureless bump. No eyes, no nostrils, no mouth. We hear a muffled gasping. Evidently, she can't breathe.
Oh dear, can't see? Can't breathe?
Nanette is gasping but has no mouth. She pats her useless non-face. She clutches her throat, falls to her knees. The rest of the crew return to their stations, trying to ignore the familiarity of the torture playing out. Daly comes closer, standing over her.
Nice. Pleasant, isn't it?
She's on the floor gasping. Daly kneels beside her.
You submit? You won't die, you know. No one dies in here unless I want them to. I can keep you like this forever if I feel like it. Eternity in darkness, grasping for breath with a mouth that isn't even there.
She writhes, desperate to breathe. Daly straightens up.
Do you submit?
She's still squirming.
We have all the time in the universe. Do you submit?
Nanette eventually nods.
Good girl.
He clicks his fingers, walks away. Nanette's face reappears. She gulps down air like someone rescued from drowning. Captain Daly spins his chair around away from Nanette to face the large viewing screen at the front of the bridge.
Lieutenant Cole, object's location. Triangulate the signal, please.
Nanette looks at the crew. No one is coming to help her. They've all been made subservient by Daly's omnipotence. Eventually, Nanette pulls herself up, heads over to her station. She sits at the chair next to Shania. Nanette looks down at the controls, incomprehensible symbols and colored shapes. Shania talks to her through the side of her mouth.
Any button, they're all the same.
Nanette looks down to see a red flashing light on her controls. She presses it. The shapes and symbols move away to reveal an animation of a star system. It zeroes in on a planet in that system. A flashing beacon pulses on the planet's surface. Information scrolls down next to it. Nanette stares at it all.
Well?
I'm getting a signal from a class 5 planet, Rannoch B.
Ronoch.
Right, Rannoch B.
Excellent. Johnny, prepare the transmit system.
Of course, Captain.
Daly gets up.
Walton, Packer, Lowry with me. We'll transport down to the planet. Reclaim the crystal. Bring Valdek to justice.
The named crew members get up and follow Captain Daly to the teleporter. Captain Daly stops.
And actually, Cole, you come too. Perfect opportunity for you to prove you're more than just a recommendation from Space Fleet. What do you say?
Nanette looks at Talaska, who nods slowly and discreetly. Packer, Walton, and Daly don belts with phaser guns on them. Meanwhile, Nanette joins them on the teleporter. Shania indicates how to stand on one of the teleporter discs.
Mr. Durrani, transport.
Aye, aye, Captain.
He hits a button and the crew dematerializes. Outside, in an alien world, on the alien planet's surface, there are two suns that hang in a mauve sky. Daly and the crew materialize into view. Nanette looks a little dizzy. The rest are accustomed to it.
Breathable atmosphere. Scanning for a plasmorphian tracer.
Daly scans the horizon with his omnicoder, like it's a Geiger counter. The omnicoder beeps. Daly turns and points at the horizon.
The crystal's this way. Let's go.
He leads them towards it. Daly and Walton walking ahead. As Packer heads off, Nanette spots the gun on his belt.
Nate.
She pulls level with him.
Hey, Nate.
Omsman Packer. You gotta call me Helmsman Packer. He gets mad if we don't use our full titles.
You've got a gun. Let's take him out.
Not gonna happen.
It's worth a shot.
1, our guns don't work. Only his does. And 2, the motherfucker's invincible.
At least you got a gun.
She's getting more and more annoyed with this. Later in the crater, Daly leads them down a craggy path with a high rocky walls towards the center of a crater. Nanette looks up around them. It feels like they're being watched. Some small stones clatter down the wall behind them, making Walton jump.
Captain.
Shh. Suddenly, Valdek's voice booms out from behind them.
We meet again, Captain Daly.
Daly swings around to see Valdek standing on the crater's edge above them, holding a massive grenade launcher covering their only exit.
Retract.
He raises his phaser.
Not advisable. My plasma grenades would turn you into screaming soup.
Shania leans in and whispers.
He's not going to kill us, Captain. He had the element of surprise. He'd have done it when he had the chance.
Daly nods, looks at Valdek, and raises his voice.
Haven't worked out how to use the crystal, have you, Valdek?
It's true that I require your space fleet knowledge. It's also true that you'll give it to me.
Don't be so sure.
Valdek gives out a classic evil villain laugh. Jesus, Nanette can't understand what's going on. Shania shoots her an urgent look. Be quiet.
Let's see how your resolve holds up when you're being devoured by one of my arachnojacks.
At that moment, a grotesque beetle monster scuttles from behind Valdek over the edge towards the crew. It's about the size of a large horse with great big gnashing mandibles.
We're all gonna die!
Killing us won't make us tell you how the crystal works, Valdek. You'll never get away with it.
Suddenly, his omnicoder emits a sort of electronic bing-bong like a doorbell. He holds it up.
Hold on. Oh, think my pizza's here. Stop game.
Suddenly, Daly freezes in position, still holding the omnicoder. The crew relax, so does Valdek. Even the arachnojack sits down. Nanette is so confused.
What's happening?
You heard him. He's paused the game for a pizza delivery. Out there.
Back in Daly's apartment in his bedroom, the real Daly snaps out of his trance, his pupils returning to normal, and peels the VR disc off of his temple. The same bing bong his omnicoder made is coming from somewhere off screen.
Oh, hold on.
He gets out of his seat. At the front door, Daly takes a pizza box from a bored delivery guy, flips open the lid, and grabs a slice as he walks back into his bedroom. Now back to space at the crater. Nanette stares at Captain Daly, who's frozen in position, eyes open, still holding the omnicoder. She waves a hand in front of his face. Nothing.
Oh, goddamn launcher's heavy as shit. Hey, how you guys holding up?
Shania shrugs and rolls her eyes.
We're existing.
Walton nods back at the arachnojacks.
How about you, Gillian?
The arachnojacks lets out a mournful howl.
Well, yeah.
Shania sees Nanette is now staring at the arachnojacks. She leans in.
Her name is Jillian. She was in marketing.
Daly turned her into that because she wouldn't play along when he cloned her into here.
This whole universe is littered with things like her. Poor fuckers who stepped out of line.
Nanette stares at the arachnojacks sadly and with a deeper sense of dread. Suddenly, Daly's omnicoder emits a beep.
Dick.
The crew reassume positions. Valdek picks up his launcher. The arachnojacks gets back on its feet. Daly springs back into life, calling up to Valdek.
If we die, the secret of the crystal dies with us, Valdek.
So be it.
The arachnojack advances toward them, gnashing its jaws.
Oh my God, we're gonna die.
Daly calls up one more time.
Baldak!
What is it, Captain? Final words?
Daly points to something in the far side of Baldak.
Over there! A naked lady!
What?
Baldak turns to look. Daly raises his phaser and fires, hitting Baldak in the shoulder. With a howl, Baldak topples off the crater wall and lands on his back on the sandy floor. The Arachnajack scuttles away. Daly and the crew advance upon the winded Baldak as he groans in agony.
Great plan, Captain.
Unparalleled tactics.
Daly stands over Baldak, who is alive, barely.
We have fought many battles, haven't we, Captain?
We have.
And I've been a good adversary for you, have I not?
Captain Daly nods.
Then please, end it. Kill me?
Baldak looks Daly square in the eyes. He looks desperate. Captain Daly considers the request, aims his phaser at Baldak's head, ready to fire the kill shot. The rest of the crew hold their breath, sensing a moment. Instead, Captain Daly lowers his phaser, sucks in air through his teeth, gives an apologetic head shake.
Killing in cold blood is against the Space Fleet Code. I wish I could help.
Captain Daly kneels down, drops the hero act for a moment.
Sorry, bud.
Baldak looks like he could cry. The rest of the crew look away, each one with a strange look of defeat in their eyes.
Take him to the brig.
Shania and Packer help Baldak up, drag him away as Captain Daly hails the Callister with his omnicoder.
Come on, man.
Dudani,
Captain?
transport us aboard.
Back on the bridge, another feverish round of "For He's a Jolly Good Fellow" is taking place as Daly basks in his latest achievement. He takes Shania in his arm and does the damsel kiss. Next, it's Talaska's turn. Then, as the singing continues, he pulls Nanette close and leans in to kiss her. Nanette pushes him away, slaps him. The singing stops.
Then so say, oh my fuck.
Daly holds his cheek, glares at Nanette, an ominous pause.
That wasn't very nice.
He rises up, holds out his hand like the Emperor again. The crew holds its breath. Nanette braces herself. Then suddenly, Daly lowers his arm.
Today, I will show mercy.
Great mercy showing, Captain.
Tomorrow, you should reconsider your amiability. I may not be feeling so benevolent. Exit game!
Captain Daly instantly disappears. The ship goes into stasis mode, the lights dim, leaving just the crew. A beat. Then,
Fucking hell.
this was tense. Annoyed Nanette glances and, I don't know.
Tense.
Inside the bridge later that evening, the crew sit by the area where Walton runs his bar. He's filling Dudani and Talaska in on what happened on the ground.
Wasn't too bad. Usual standoff storyline. Saw Jillian from marketing.
Nanette is pacing up and down.
No way I'm kissing that asshole.
And he's gonna get more and more pissed.
Well, how about you kiss him?
Look, it's not. You get used to it. There's no tongue. Never tongues. If that's any consolation.
Nanette grimaces.
Doing tongues is not Space Fleet way.
And it's not like I can get beyond kissing anyway.
What do you mean?
You haven't noticed?
Walton clears his throat, steps out from behind the bar, and calmly starts undoing his belt on the costume.
Oh, okay. What are you?
He unbuttons his pants. Nanette is appalled.
No, you don't. Don't do that. You don't need.
He drops his pants, revealing nothing. Where his genitals should be, there's a smooth, hairless mound, like a Ken doll.
No genitals in Space Fleet. It's a wholesome universe.
Nanette looks confused.
He must have modified our codes that way. Think he's scared of sex? We're all the same. Don't believe me? Take a look down there.
She points to Nanette's groin. Nanette gingerly pulls the waist of her skirt away from her belly and peers down into her knickers. Her face says it all. Walton, doing up his pants, adds,
Try grinding our mouths together out of sheer boredom. No sensation at all.
Can't even shit. Can't even have the basic fucking pleasure of pushing out a shit.
They all nod, sadly.
I miss taking shit.
Okay, stealing my pussy is a red fucking line. We gotta get this bastard.
We've tried a million times. No way out.
Come on, Walton.
Walton downs his shot, walks off to sulk in a corner. Nanette watches him go, shaking her head.
Daly's smart, but he's not a god. He's a coder. He's fallible. Come here. What was he holding in his hand, the scanner thing?
His omnicorder, primary communications device.
You said he kept his version of the game offline.
Shania nods.
But his omnicoder made contact with the outside world. When his pizza came, it's got to be connected to his home system at least.
The omnicord's gone.
It loads when he loads. It goes when he goes. And that's the only one.
Nanette thinks. She walks over to one of the ship's computers. It's displaying apparently random code raining down on the screen. A bit matrix.
There's got to be a way to connect.
She starts typing.
You won't hack it. I've tried.
I haven't.
She types furiously. Didani shakes his head and walks off. We're in deep space now, man. Hours pass, during which we see the galaxy in all its splendor. The exterior shot of the USS Callister with the heavens rolling past. Now we're on the bridge, and Nanette is still furiously typing. Suddenly, she stops.
Bingo.
Didani and Shania are nearby. She shows them the screen, an icon of a handshake. Beneath it, the words, invite a friend. Didani's eyes widen as the penny drops.
Oh, that's good.
Shania still looks confused, so Nanette explains.
Part of Infinity's friend to end. You invite a friend with a custom message.
You can get a message out? Outside?
Just one. 140 characters maximum.
Who are you going to contact?
Nanette flashes a smile. In the Callister Inc. in the lobby during the day, in the elevator, Nanette stands in the elevator listening to her earbuds and exits into Callister Inc.'s lobby, which is now festooned with Christmas decorations. Even Elena, the receptionist, wears novelty antlers as she fiddles with her smartphone.
Hey, Elena.
As Nanette passes towards the office, she hears her phone ping. It's an email. Robert Daly invites you to join Infinity. Nanette opens the email and stands reading for a moment. Beneath the sign up now icon message is a message. This is not spam. Daly has stolen your identity. I am you and I'm trapped in a moated infinity. Help me. Contact Cyberpol. Nanette reads the message and is thoroughly confused. Helena assumes there's a problem with her pass.
You need me buzz you in?
What? No.
She puts her phone away and looks for her pass. Carl appears from behind and proffers his own.
I got that for you.
Thanks.
Do you?
In the office at Callister Inc., more decorations everywhere. Nanette heads across the floor, still slightly thinking about the email and looking at her phone. She sees Robert Daly walking ahead of her.
Oh, Mr. Daly, hi.
He looks up, a bit flustered.
Hey?
You didn't send me an Infinity invite just now, did you?
What? No. What?
It was really weird. It had this message attached about people trapped in the game.
Daly thinks fast.
Probably a spam bot. A firewall doesn't always get them all.
That's what I thought. Weirdest thing. It went to my personal account, not my work mail.
Hackers getting creative. I wouldn't worry about it. Didn't open the link, did you?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, well, maybe upgrade your security software, I guess.
Yeah, well, have a good one.
She turns and heads back to her desk. Daly passes Walton's office, peering in. Walton is walking around casually strumming an unplugged electric guitar. Daly glowers. Back on the USS Callister, Walton is methodically banging his head against a desk. Slowly. Bang. Pause. Bang. Pause. Bang. Pause. Eventually.
Could you cut that out?
Trying to make it a hobby.
Suddenly, the lights turn up and the hum of the ship waking up.
This is way too early. He's only been at work a few hours.
She got the message. I did. It's me. Or the cops, more likely. We're getting out of here.
Shania looks convinced. They look at the door as it slides open to reveal Captain Daly glowering. Nanette glances at the crew. This is bad. Daly walks to the display screen and gazes out into space.
What is space flight? I'll tell you what it is. It is a belief system founded on very heart, human nature. It's a goal for us to strive towards. The betterment of the universe. Betterment of life itself.
He turns to face them.
And you assholes are fucking it up.
Nanette steps forward.
It was me. I sent the message. No one else was involved, I swear.
Captain Daly stares at her.
I tried the carrot. Now meet the stick.
Daly raises his hand, Emperor style. Shania looks terrified. Nanette turns defiant.
None of this is ever gonna make you happy, Daly, because you're sick. You're sick and you need to get help.
Daly stretches out his hand and Shania has to intervene.
Don't! Captain, please. She's new. She'll behave. We'll all behave. Just let her off. Just this once.
Daly thinks. He lowers his hand.
Okay.
He smiles and then aims his hand at Shania.
No! No!
Too late. Daly concentrates and Shania starts to convulse. She screams in agony and drops to the floor.
Please, no! Daly! No!
Shania mutates into an arachnojax. The metamorphosis is agonizing. Her screams become more animal, guttural. Nanette looks at Captain Daly, coldly looking back at her as the arachnojax roars out in pain.
Know what makes me happy? Look on your face right now.
He turns to the rest of the crew.
Johnny, Walton, Talaska, throw that thing in the brig with Valdek. Hacker, find a barren planet we can dump her on. And Cole, you can just stay here. Think about your attitude.
The crew glumly set about their task. Didani and co-shepherding Shania, Arachnojax, to the brig while Packer goes to his navigation computer.
Exit game.
He vanishes. Nanette sits down, defeated. In the USS Callister hallway later that day, Nanette stands by the window staring out into deep space. She's crying, utterly broken. But then something catches her eye. Out the window in the depths of space, a light. Something is happening. She wipes the tears and snot on her sleeve, looks out to see, out in space, a cluster of stars swirl together, sucking in debris from around them, forming a funnel shape, A wormhole is forming in space in the distance. She looks at the access panel screen beside the window. It kicks into life. Incomprehensible data scrolling down the screen. Nanette studies it. It's code. She realizes what's happening.
Update patch. It's the update patch.
She runs towards the bridge. On the bridge, moment later, Nanette is beside Packer as he looks at the galactic map on his display. The wormhole is depicted on it at distance away. Nanette taps the wormhole.
So what? It's a wormhole.
The doors slide open. The remainder of the crew slouch in.
It's the Christmas update patch pre-installing itself. The wormhole is just how the game's expressing it in the uplink.
Oh?
Dudani understands what's happening.
So Daly's custom build is still connected to the internet.
Some way. Somehow.
Walton cuts in.
This is another one of your plans. Just stop now before someone else gets monstrified.
This can work.
But when we can't get online access from the ship, he'll have crippled the permissions.
Yes, but what happens if we fly into the wormhole?
Like on purpose?
Dudani has it worked out. His eyes widen.
We'll hit the system firewall and have our rogue coding deleted.
Exactly.
Deleted as in...
As in die.
Whether it's dying would depend largely on your philosophical position regarding sentient...
We would cease to exist, yes, that's true. But we'd be free. We'd be free.
The crew go quiet. They think about what she's saying.
But this is academic since we have no means of getting to the wormhole.
Yeah, we can only pilot the damn thing while Daly's here. He'll stop us like that.
Nanette thinks.
How about when he's logged in, but on pause? Like when his pizza came, he was just frozen there.
Flying would be possible, but that wormhole's a whole parsec away. We'd never reach it before he got back.
Nanette nods, thinking.
Unless we can stall him longer.
And that we do how?
We need help from the outside, from real me again.
Worked good last time.
How we meant to contact real you again anyhow?
If
we get Daly's omnicoder, we can make a call, right?
That's correct theoretically, but...
Well, if we can get real me on the phone, I may have some leverage.
Leverage on yourself?
Uh-huh.
They stare blankly at her.
Like what?
My PhotoCloud account. I know the password. Obviously. There's some interesting images in there that I should have deleted a while back, but I didn't. So we can blackmail me. Pretty sure I'd do anything to stop those pictures getting out.
Must be pretty pictures.
Look, if this is going to work, we've all got to be in on it.
There's a pause while they consider.
Flying into certain death in a wormhole beats another 10,000 years with Captain Ass. I'm in.
Me too.
They look at Talaska.
Also me.
Walton suddenly pipes up from across the room.
Well, I'm out.
They stare at him.
Daly's won. We just got to get on with it. We don't have a chance.
Nanette rounds on him.
Yes, we do. We hit the wormhole. We're extinct. Gone. Rid of his shit.
Sounds peachy.
Nanette gets closer.
What's with you? Don't you want to fight back? Why won't you fight back?
Tommy.
No one knows what he's talking about.
Who's Tommy?
My son. 6 years old. At least he was when I woke up in here. See, in the early days of this ship, it was just me and Daly in here. I was his pet project. I tried just about everything to break me, and I withstood it all, because I thought there was still a chance I could get out. See my boy again. I was right. I did get to see him again. Just, it's not the real him.
As Walton continues to speak, we see glimpses from the past. In a dreamlike flashback, we see the real Walton showing his son Tommy around the office, greeting Carl, Didani awkwardly. Nate, Shania gives Tommy a red lollipop. He starts sucking it.
Daly told me what happened. Back in the outside, real me brought Tommy into the office one day. Went to show him around. Would have loved seeing all the computers. He's into that stuff. Anyhow, evidently, Tommy had a lollipop that day.
Tommy puts the lollipop down on a desk absentmindedly, pulled to focus to see Daly looking at it. In Daly's apartment that night, we see Daly removing the lollipop from a plastic bag with tweezers, placing it in his Petri dish device.
That's all Daly needed.
Back on the USS Callister, in slow-mo, Captain Daly leads Tommy onto the bridge. Walton is the only other crew member. His face lights up, but he's also concerned.
Copied him into here. It was Tommy, all right? Like in every way.
Captain Daly grabs a hold of Tommy before he could run to his dad, and suddenly we're back in the present on the bridge. Walton's voice is cracking. Nanette is silenced, listening.
You know what he did to him?
Back in the flashback, a slow-mo still as Captain Daly drags a screaming Tommy down the corridor towards the airlock with an access panel.
He took Tommy, threw him out the airlock, right out into space. Baby, watch.
We see Walton staring out of the window, screaming, howling in slow motion, horrified by what he can see. Back on the present-day bridge, Walton is in tears now.
Have you ever seen an unsuited body compress in space? They freeze and crack. Like a porcelain doll. I take my hat off to Daly. The detail and the space in this place really is exceptional.
Everyone is stunned, horrified.
He said he'd do it again and again if he had to. I can't let him do that to Tommy. Never again. Daly's still got his DNA. Got all our DNA. He told me. Keeps it in a bedroom mini fridge by his desk. So I have to stay in line. Because even if we all die, he could bring us back. He could bring Tommy back and whenever he wants. And God knows how he'd take it out on him. God knows what he'd do. But I tell you this, he'd make us watch.
Holy shit.
So you see, what choice do I have? What choice?
Nanette is closest. She holds him, and then she looks him in the eye with all the conviction she can muster, and she says,
Walton, we are going to get that fucking lollipop. You gotta believe me. Can you do that? Can you?
He looks at her, uncertain. In Daly's apartment that night, we notice a uniform Christmas wreath on the door as the house lights up as Daly enters and heads to his bedroom. Once inside Daly's apartment, Daly sits on his games desk. There's now a slightly pathetic mini Christmas tree on it. He grabs the chocolate milk from his fridge. We see the lollipop in the other DNA bags. He slurps, pops the VR disc on his temple, boots up the game, and LED flashes. His eyes mist over, go limp. He's in. On the USS Callister bridge, moments later, Captain Daly bounds in and smiles. He sees Nanette and is sitting dutifully at the comms desk.
Good to see you at your position, Cole.
Captain, you've come at just the right time.
I have?
I'm picking up a distress signal from the surface of Scalane 4. It looks like a crashed shuttle. What should we do?
Space Fleet never turns its back on those in need. Let's go down. We will get ready at once. Let's set a course for Skillion 4.
Aye, aye, sir.
We send down a search party. Talaska. America. Let's get ready.
Actually, Captain, I was thinking maybe you could take me alone. As a science officer, I need to learn the ropes, and I could use your close attention.
Daly is flustered. It takes him a while to respond.
Good idea. Good idea.
Later, on an alien planet, Nanette and Captain Daly transport down to a warm, craggy planet surface. Arid mountains, lush lakes. Daly takes out his omnicorner, scans the area. Nanette eyes the device hungrily.
Atmosphere is good.
Daly spots the shuttle up ahead. It's the size of a minivan.
Over there.
He leads the way. Behind, Nanette exhales. So far, so good. Back on the bridge, the crew are gathered around Dudani's control panel, watching a wireframe map with a GPS dot on it, indicating Daly and Nanette's position. They're waiting for something. We turn to see their faces as we hear Daly saying,
No signs of life here. The shuttle is deserted.
Back on the alien planet, moments later, Captain Daly and Nanette stand a short distance from the shuttle. Captain Daly is talking into the omnicorder. There is a shimmering lake nearby. Nanette looks at it and thinks.
We'll scout the area, check for any life forms. Daily out.
Nanette starts walking toward the lake. Daly looks confused.
Cole, we should head this way. Cole?
Nanette unzips her uniform, slipping it off, and she wears a sports bra and underwear under beneath. Captain Daly averts his eyes, then stops, averting them.
Whoa, what are you doing?
Nanette swims up to her neck and turns around, smiling.
Oh my god, the water's great.
Daly's flustered. He's simultaneously annoyed and mesmerized.
Come on in.
So swimming's a leisure activity. We are on space fleet duty.
Nanette dives and resurfaces, smiling.
We could always say I started drowning. You had to come in and rescue me. Come on in, my big captain.
Daly thinks. He's shy, but wants to join her. He starts slipping off his clothes, too. He has boxers on beneath. Daly carefully folds his clothes and lays them on the ground, puts the omnicorner on top of them, and heads into the water.
Gonna take all day.
As Daly walks towards the water, smiling at Nanette, we see the omnicorner start to glow. It's being teleported. On the USS Callister bridge, back in deep space, the omnicorder reappears on the bridge. Dudani scoops it up as the rest of the crew look anxiously.
Okay, gotta patch it in.
Dudani sits the omnicorder on his workstation panel. A connecting circle appears beneath it. He's in. Everyone looks up to the main bridge screen, which now displays the search engine page. Dudani navigates to the login page of Nanette's PhotoCloud account.
It worked! I'm connected. Got access to her PhotoCloud account.
You actually remember that password?
Uppercase Y998, lowercase GP7, uppercase TY, ampersand 4. Secure choice.
The screen switches to an iPhoto-style gallery of Nanette's personal photos. Pretty innocuous stuff so far.
Boring life.
Everyone's staring at them as Dudani scrolls down.
There's 1,000 images here. This could take a while to find.
Dudani focuses on his workstation. Then as they scroll down, we watch the crew's faces. We see a picture of Nanette grinning in a swanky hotel room, taking a selfie in the bathroom mirror. Then another one. Her shoulder strap is down. And another. Everyone reacts, eyes widening at what they're seeing. Even Talaska is momentarily impressed. She cranes her neck.
That is gymnast physique.
Walton says, nice betting. Packer swallows like he's seeing the face of God. There's a pause as they all stare, mesmerized.
Should I keep scrolling?
After a while of watching, wide-eyed.
I'd say any of the last 9 will do.
Back at Callister Inc., at night, a desk in the corner of real Dudani sits typing into his system. Not far away, the real Nanette sits at her workstation, also working late, earbuds in. Shania heads past, heading out for the holidays. She playfully bounces a stress ball off Nanette's head as she approaches. Nanette pops out her earbuds.
Thank you. Going out for the night?
Hello, it's Christmas Eve. Out of this place for like 10 days. You'll fuse with that desk, so go home.
I just gotta finish this. I will.
Well, okay. Merry Christmas, loser.
Nanette smiles. Shania leaves. Nanette's about to put the earbuds back in when her phone rings. Pings. Message from Anonymous. She looks confused. Taps it open. Nanette Cole. Remember that week in Vegas? Nanette's eyes widen. She seems to know what that means. Then a photo message arrives. The bathroom mirror selfie. Nanette reacts, horrified.
Oh, God, Elliot, you asshole.
Another message appears, another image with the headline, P.S. This isn't Elliot. She frowns, then the phone rings in her head. Anonymous. Nanette lets it ring for a moment. Shock and panic overriding everything, then she answers it to hear a gravelly voice. We intercut with the bridge to show Walton saying, following into the mic, with a hand over his mouth to make his voice sound mysterious.
Nanette Cole, we have hacked your photo cloud account.
Who is this? What do you want?
Do exactly as instructed. First thing Christmas morning, your entire gallery will be shared with your friends and family. And Pornhub.
At the last line, we see Talaska looking at Walton, unimpressed. He shrugs. He thought it was a nice touch. A beat. Fear in Nanette's eyes. She gulps, holds her brow.
Okay, whatever you want. I'll do anything. Just I'll do anything.
And listen to our instructions carefully. There isn't much time. Get your coat on. Now!
Real Nanette jerks to attention and immediately stands up. Back on the alien planet, we see Daly Bobs besides Nanette. He glances back to the shore.
We should probably head back.
Help! I'm drowning.
He whips his head back around.
Oh, it's okay. I just forgot how to swim for a moment.
Daly smiles awkwardly at her. She's acting a little odd. Then she splashes him playfully with water. Daly's almost angry. Then he smiles and splashes her back. But back in Daly's apartment in the balcony that night, real Nanette climbs over the balcony nervously and once safe peeks into Daly's window. She sees him lying limp in the chair, plugged into the game, but his back is to her.
Into position.
Okay, now we see both the bridge and USS Callister.
Okay, we'll hang up now. Make the call. Do not fail the rest of your mission.
I will.
On the bridge.
You better.
Walton taps the omnicorder off and hands it to Dudani.
Okay, send it back down.
Back on the alien planet, as Daly and Nanette frolic in the water, the omnicorder rematerializes on top of his pile of clothing. Daly bobs underwater for a moment, a quick glimpse of Nanette's smile fading, then reappearing as he surfaces. Back in the apartment that night, real Nanette makes a phone call and adjusts her earpiece.
Yeah, I'd like to order a pizza.
Later, a pizza guy arrives. He checks it's 102, pushes the buzzer. Then the display panel on the door goes bing bong as Nanette and Daly splash each other back on the alien planet. Laughing on the shore, Daly's omnicorder lights up and he emits the same bing bong sound as the doorbell. Both he and Nanette look around.
Yes, you better get that.
Back in Daly's apartment, Daly lies on the limp chair, eyes glazed as the bing bonging continues. Now we're back on the alien planet, and Daly is still in his boxers. He grabs the recorder and looks at it.
Yeah, it's the door. Pause game!
He's frozen in position. Nanette quickly grabs the omnicorder from his hand, taps something, and speaks into it.
Donnie, pick me up.
She chucks the omnicorder down onto Daly's clothes and gathers her clothes and starts to dematerialize and rematerializes back on the bridge, still in underwear, clutching her clothes.
Okay, we don't have much time.
She quickly starts to dress. Her and Packer share a glance for a moment. Packer looks away. He's embarrassed. Nanette briefly remembers the photos, and now we're back in Daly's apartment as he snaps out of the game, takes off the VR disc and places it on his desk. The bing bong noise continues.
Coming!
On his balcony, the real Nanette watches through the glass as Daly heads for the door. As soon as he's gone, she opens the balcony door, and we're back inside. Daly stands by the door. He talks to the control panel.
Hello?
Pizza.
I didn't order a pizza.
In his bedroom, quietly, the real Nanette sneaks up to Daly's desk. She picks up the VR experiencer disc and puts it in a pocket and replaces it with an identical copy. Then she quickly opens the mini fridge and looks at the lollipop bag. She stared at it, bemused for a moment.
What the hell am I doing?
Then stuffs it and the other bags in her pocket. She quickly fishes her phone out and taps something. We're back on the bridge in deep space and Nanette is quickly dressing. While on the main screen, a star chart is on display. Walton is plotting a course. Suddenly, there's a ding and a large notification on the screen. Friend invite accepted from Nanette Cole.
That's the signal. She's got the DNA. All of it. Copies too.
She looks at Walton, who is relieved beyond belief.
Packer, we ready to fly?
Uh-huh.
Well?
You're supposed to say something like engage or increase through...
Just fucking go!
Packer nods and engages thrusters. The ship speeds into space. We're back at the Daly's apartment.
Man, someone ordered it. You want it or not?
Okay, hold on.
Daly opens the door and he takes the pizza, beeps a contactless card onto the pizza guy's payment widget.
Thanks.
Hey, I got it here in under 20. There's supposed to be 30 in it for me?
Daly looks at him blankly for a moment, then shuts the door.
What the fuck, asshole?
Back in his bedroom, the real Nanette hears the door shut. She freezes. In his apartment, Daly takes a slice. He's pleased with his bounty, tucks in. The digital doorbell bleeps. We see on the control panel the pizza delivery guy still at the door, demanding his tip.
Come on, man, you promised.
Daly taps the screen and selects Do Not Disturb mode. Back in his hallway, the pizza guy is in dismay. The little screen with the apartment number on it changes to read, Do Not Disturb. There's an auto-locking sound. Pizza guy tries the doorbell again, but now it's silent. A beat, then he gives up.
Nice. Merry Christmas, asshole.
He turns and stomps away. Back in Daly's apartment, Daly enters his bedroom chewing a slice of pizza. He looks around. Something odd grabs. He looks at the window, walks over to it. On his balcony, the real Nanette ducks down so he can't see her. Daly draws the curtain shut and walks back to his desk. He sits down and picks up the VR disc, puts it on his temple.
Resume game.
Nothing. He peels the disc off and blows on it.
Resume game.
Still, nothing. Back on the bridge on the display, stars whiz past, but Nanette is anxious.
Can't we go any faster? That dud disc isn't going to fool him forever. Update's going to complete before long, and that means bye-bye wormhole.
Packer points at his galactic map showing the route.
Only quicker route would be through that asteroid belt through there.
So let's go that way.
If the ship broke up, we wouldn't die. We'd just be left spinning in space.
Until Daly works out what's happening, he'd find us and fuck us over.
Nanette nods, still impatient. Back in Daly's apartment, having inspected it, Daly gives up on the VR disc.
Stupid thing.
He tosses it across the room, opens a drawer, rustles through a bric-a-brac, old paper clips and the like. At the back, he finds a brand new VR disc in shrink-wrapped, tasteful packaging. It's a small box, about the size of like a little square case, and a pair of Apple earbuds comes in. Maybe it's the TKR branded product? He rips it open, quick cuts as he fumbles and puts the new disc on his temple.
Resume game.
Back on the alien planet's surface, Captain Daly still is in his underwear, suddenly springs to life. He's confused for a moment by the lack of omnicorder in his hand.
Okay, Lieutenant Cole, let's head for... Cole?
He looks around. Where is she? He scoops up his omnicorder. Back on the bridge, Talaska sits up as Daly's voice comes through a speaker.
Daly to bridge. What's going on?
Shit, he had a backup disc. Don't answer him.
Back on the alien's surface.
Come in. God damn it!
He looks around, spots the shuttle in the distance, trudges towards it. On the bridge at Callister, Dudani notes something on his display.
Uh-oh. The wormhole. It's decreasing in size.
Upload must be in the last few percent. Damn it, Packer, we're gonna have to go through that belt. Think you can do it?
Think I could try.
They watch anxiously as the display swerves to show the asteroid belt. On the shuttle and the alien planet, Captain Daly is inside. He taps a few buttons on the dash. Systems hum into life.
Ships, computer, on.
Computer, where's the USS Callister?
USS Callister is on course.
On course for what?
The wormhole.
Wait, what wormhole?
The update vortex.
A penny drops. Whoa! Whoa!
Sons of bitches! Prepare for takeoff!
He hits some controls. The engines start up, but in deep space, the Callister swerves through an asteroid belt, narrowly avoiding a calamity. A small rock bounces off the hull, but on the bridge, the crew leans this way and that as Packer pilots them between spinning chunks of space rock.
Fields at 86%.
Suddenly, Dudani notes something on his computer.
I've got a heat signature. Looks like a shuttle just took off from Scalane 4.
Daily.
Incoming transmitter.
She hits a button, and we intercut between Daly and speaking into a headset on the shuttle, which is now in space.
I know you can hear me. Whatever you think you're going to do won't work, but it is going to cost you.
Let's go faster!
We're already at maximum.
Daly can't touch us unless he makes it on board. And that shuttle's a jalopy. He won't catch us in time.
Hope you're right.
Just then, clong! Another small asteroid collides with the ship. The crew rock about a little bit more.
Shields 58%.
Oh, in deep space, the shuttle is whizzing through the inky dark. Daly continues hurling insults at them.
If you thought what happened to you in the past was bad, that was nothing. What I'm going to do is you're going to be goddamn biblical.
Back on the bridge, Daly's voice echoes round the bridge as Packer continues to weave through the rocks.
I'm going to literally turn your insides out, and I'll keep you alive in jars if I have.
Why are we listening to this?
Talaska nods, hits a button. Daly's rant is cut off.
Yes, fuck him.
We're at the edge of the belt. I think we're gonna make it.
Nanette smiles. Back on the Callister, he spoke too soon. Just as the Callister exits the asteroid field, one asteroid collides with Callister's hull. It dings away, causing damage. Back on the bridge, thump, rumble, the crew is jerked around, and then...
Shields critical, 6%.
Suddenly, there's a heavy groaning sound from the engines.
What was that?
Primary drive. It's not responding.
I've lost all thrust. Engine's not responding. We're drifting here.
Sure enough, back on the Callister, the ship is drifting through space, powerless. The ship's computer announces.
USS Callister has lost engine power.
Coming to get you.
He accelerates a little more. Back on the bridge, all hope is lost. No one knows what to do. Everyone looks at Nanette. She's in the captain's chair.
I don't know. Any way to fix the engines?
That's only feasible manually, by climbing inside the jet feeder.
So you'd burn to a crisp when the jet came on.
You'd burn without dying.
Then one of us has to go.
Suddenly, Walton isn't there, and then a voice.
One of us already has.
Walton?
In the jet feeder tube, at the same time, there's a bit like the interior of a giant jet engine. Dark and lots of pipes and stuff. Walton is in there with some tools, wrenching at something in the wiring. He now has a comms earpiece in his ear.
Pretty sure I can fix this.
Walton, are you sure about this?
Walton keeps his eyes fixed on the task.
I'm sure. Alaska, can you patch me through to Daly?
On the bridge, Nanette looks at Alaska and she nods.
Patching through.
Now we see all three, the crew, the bridge as they listen, and Walton in the jet feeder as Daly is in the shuttle.
Daly, can you hear me?
You're gonna pay for this.
Robert, listen.
I'm gonna bring Tommy back, and so God help me, you're gonna regret us so.
Well, I want to talk to you here.
Daly shuts up, momentarily chasing.
I was thinking, I should say sorry.
As Walton talks, he continues tinkering with the space banner.
Go on.
You created Infinity. You're a genius. I exploited that. Treated you like a golden goose. Got fat on profits. Figuratively speaking. I was thinking I ought to say I should have appreciated you more. Should have treated you better.
Daly doesn't speak for a moment. This is touching him.
Yeah, I was thinking I should say all that. But you threw my son out of an airlock, so fuck you to death.
And with that, he wrenches something and the jet roars. Walton is incinerated, screaming. On the Callister Bridge, Walton's scream is cut off. The feed dies. Engines roar.
We got power back.
He yanks a thruster. Back on the Callister, the engine roars and the ship hurtles from the wormhole. And the shuttle, Daly anxiously looks ahead. A little graphic display shows his shuttle is gaining on the USS Callister.
Callister at 4 kilometers and closing.
Start.
Speed already at maximum.
Whatever, just catch them.
Back on the bridge.
Wormhole's almost closed.
Nanette sets to keep her steady as Packer sweats and he pilots the craft. Nanette, steady. In the deep space near the wormhole, continuous. Callister approaches the shrinking wormhole and we see both the crew and Daly holding their breath.
Steady.
And with Daly shouting. And with Alaska saying,
I hope we are going to die.
And then the USS Callister slips into the wormhole, which winks shut behind them, and Daly's shuttle zips past, missing the aperture. Back on the bridge at the USS Callister, wild, bright lights are on display like the Falcon going into hyperspace. The crew stand together, looking into infinity. They slowly, silently hold hands in a final act of solidarity. The entire bridge distorts, elongates, spins, strobe, lightning, impressionistic faces of the crew, like the black hole segment in 2001, A Space Odyssey, and then blackness, total blackness. And then suddenly, back on the bridge, just moments later, something has changed. The bridge layout is the same, but the color scheme is more modern. The display graphics are notably more high-tech. We have very lens flare. Even the crew's costumes are more modern. The women's outfits are less revealing and they look down on themselves.
What's happened?
The mod's gone. Daly's space fleet mod. It's been stripped away by the firewall.
They glance at Talaska. She's a human again. Talaska looks down at her own skin.
Okay, so this is good.
We're still alive?
Didani looks down at his display.
Yeah, it only erased the Space Fleet mod.
We're not on Daly's computer anymore. We're in the cloud.
But Talaska looks worried.
Where's Daly?
Didani looks at his display.
Firewall's deleted his rogue game code, and his controls are disabled.
You mean?
Didani nods with a smile.
He's stuck there.
In deep space, on the other side of the wormhole, we see Daly's shuttle thrums through space. Suddenly, the stars start to disappear, all of them rapidly twinkling out of existence.
Update complete. Wormhole closed.
Daly frantically pushes buttons.
Controls are disabled.
No! No! No!
Back on the bridge at the USS Callister, the crew sits and looks at the universe. Just then, they hear the door open and a triumphant voice.
Assholes!
They spin around. Shania and Valdak have just entered. Carl is now in the Infinity costume, as are the rest of the crew.
Brig unlocked itself.
My Valtech outfit turned into this.
Yeah, Carl. More to the point, I'm not a fucking beetle thing anymore. I got my body back. I mean, my full body back. Guessing we all did.
Packer thinks. He peers inside at his own pants, and he grins like a man who's discovered his penis now exists again after a long period of absence, because that's what's happened.
So, what do we do now?
We've gotten an infinite procedurally generated universe at our disposal. We can go anywhere.
Nanette gazes at the heavens on the monitor, awestruck.
Holy mackerel.
Back on the shuttle, Daly notices it's getting darker. He's worried.
What's happening?
Rogue universe detected. Deletion in progress.
No! Undelete! Undelete!
My mind is going. I can feel it.
The computer falls silent. The lights in the shuttle dim.
It's a game!
Nothing.
It's a game!
A penny drops. He panics.
The fucking game!
Back in Daly's apartment, the real Daly sits limp in the chair. Eyes glazed, mouth slightly opened, unable to move. The VR disc is on his temple, and the mini Christmas tree glows in the dark. We slowly drift away. We pull from Daly's apartment with its Christmas wreath past the screen that reads, "Do not disturb," and pull further out to see the entire building, slow, snow swirling, sleigh bells tinkling, passers-by walking past, oblivious. Back on the USS Callister bridge, Talaska sees something on a monitor.
Incoming transmission.
They all spin to look at her.
It says Gamer 691.
That's a player tag. Another ship. Another player.
We're online. Patch them through.
She nods and taps something.
Hello. Hey, this is the crew of the USS Callister. Man, are we glad to...
She's cut off by the sound of an obnoxious 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. So, we gotta blow each other, or are you gonna trade?
Nanette opens her mouth to be cut off again.
Hello? Do you have anything to trade?
No,
So why did you respond? Okay, just get the hell out of my quadrant, or I'll blast you to shit. You got 10 seconds.
Oh, do try. We'll Felton bolt you right up the perineum, you stupid little boy.
5 seconds.
Come on, then.
Nanette sees this is going to get out of control.
Okay, Nate, Helmsman Packer?
5,
Yes, Captain?
4,
Yes, kid.
Stick us in hyperwarp and let's fuck off somewhere.
3,
Aye, aye, Captain.
Really, Nanette's fine.
Aye, aye, and Nanette.
2,
Back in deep space, the USS Callister fires up its hyperwarp engines and zips off out of view, leaving behind the hectoring voice of gamer 691.
1. Uh-huh. You better run. King of space right here. King of space.
The end.
King of
King
space.
of space. King of space. Ah, King of space.
Oh man, I'm so glad I did
King of space.
before. That was great.
That was so good. I love it.
Everyone did so good.
You guys are awesome.
Give
Round of
yourselves a
applause.
hand. Yes.
everybody. That's costumes, everybody did such a good job.
I was gonna say.
That was fun.
Big props to our 3 newcomers.
Woo!
Nice work, newbies. Nice work. Hey, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Y'all
Oh my
are
gosh, guys.
so beautiful, so creative. I loved it all.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.